Hello, I'm Joanna Green, and on this edition of MTA's Commuter Connections, Ravens football is back. We'll show you how to avoid traffic and parking on game day. The MTA has a few employment opportunities to tell you about, and we'll answer your customer questions and concerns in our Ask the MTA segment, next on MTA's Commuter Connections. Welcome to MTA's Commuter Connections. For this edition of the program, we're at the MTA Wabash Metro facility in Northwest Baltimore, where the MTA employs quite a few people in a number of disciplines and areas, from office clerical positions to management and supervision to technicians and mechanics, just to name a few. It takes people with all kinds of skills, education, and training to help make a modern transit agency operate, and your skill set may be just one of the ones that the MTA is currently looking for to fill a number of available positions. Now, joining with us to look at a number of the job opportunities that MTA has is MTA Deputy Director of Human Resources, Robin Henry. Hi, Robin. How are you?
Hi, Joe.
Welcome to the show. You have good news to share with us.
Yes.
We're hiring.
Oh, yes, we are. And we're hiring in a number of positions across the agency. And as you've said earlier, we look for people with all kinds of skill sets.
That's important.
It's not just the bus operators. It's not just the
train
administrators.
Right.
It is the mechanics, the technicians, and things of that nature.
Now, what is the mission of HR, human resources? I mean, people hear about, I'm going to the HR office. What is HR?
We are traditional HR, as everybody knows HR. We have benefits. We manage the benefits for the employees. We do recruitment. We do testing for applicants and employees. We have medical services. We have a federal oversight piece. We do classifications, market surveys. So we are a real HR office.
Full-service HR office.
Full-service HR.
Now, how many people work in the HR department?
Currently, we have 35.
Okay.
We also have training. I didn't mention we have training, and we also have a new section that's called Community Workforce Programs, which we'll talk about how that works with us to find some good candidates.
Now, how important is an HR department to an organization like MTA? I mean, my goodness, MTA is everywhere in the state of Maryland.
Wow. Oh, yes. We are very important for managing what we call our human capital.
Yes.
People make the transit system work, and we serve as the arm. We are a support department that support our people, our management, to make sure that, one, our employees are qualified and competent to do the jobs, and then two, once we get them there, we train them. We continue to build on our resource.
So it's like retention. You're helping to retain good people.
Yes, we are.
Now, one of the things you talked about was that you're going to be recruiting for some, I would say, technical positions, because one of the things is not just about bus operators. I mean, we love our bus operators, but we have a lot of technical positions. So tell me a little bit about, well, how many positions we have in general right now that are open at MTA.
Right now we have about 140.
Okay.
And throughout the year that ranges anywhere between about 50 or somewhere like that. We constantly are hiring.
Okay.
We are streamlining our process. And one thing that you know, we're here at Wabash. Wabash is a very technical job.
Well, this is the Metro headquarters.
Yes.
So this is, I mean, you're dealing with electricity. I always like to say that Metro is electric.
Yeah.
You need to be skilled if you're going to be working here.
Yes.
So tell us about the positions that you're looking to fill here in this role at the Metro facility.
We are looking to fill two types. One thing that people may not realize is that we do have collective bargaining at the MTA.
Okay.
So we are looking for a repairman, and those jobs are posted on our website. Most of our A repairmen here at Metro are required to have formal training, as you said. Metro is electric, so they need to have electromechanical training for some of the positions. And we're also looking for management people here at Metro. And management supervisors are people who are actually on the job providing the oversight to those repairmen who are making repairs on our rail cars, our tracks, our signals, our systems.
But do these people have to have necessarily, I guess I would say, do they have to have transit background or just a background in electrical I guess, be certified to work in the industry in general?
In Metro, they just need to be certified to work in the industry. Because we are transit, we train.
That's
and
a good
there
sign.
is nowhere for people to get this skill outside of
Well, it's
another transit
specialized. Yeah.
property. But we do want them to have the basic educational foundation, and from that, we're convinced we can train them.
Well, let me stress this again. These jobs are posted on our website.
Yes, they are.
So folks can go online, they can get the information, they can pull it up, and,
Yes.
can they apply online? Do you know?
Some jobs, the management
Okay.
jobs, they can apply online. Some of the other jobs do require them to submit supplemental documentation.
And so they may still
They
have to
may
come in
need
the
to-
office and bring it
yes.
in. Okay.
And there's a testing process. You meet the minimum qualifications, and there's an interview. And
Now, where do they come for all this? Because that's important. Where it's not located, they don't come to Metro
No,
Drive. Where are
no.
they coming to meet with MTA's HR
Well,
people?
they come to 6 St. Paul's,
Okay.
which is the William Donald Schaefer building
Okay.
downtown at Baltimore and Light. On the 5th floor,
Okay.
they can ask for an application there, or they can get an application mailed to them by calling our number, 410-767-6840.
Okay.
And we'll send it out to them. And they might interview at Wabash, but
Okay.
the qualifying
But it starts with
at
the
6
HR
St. Paul.
department.
Yes.
You guys have a number of different functions. And
We do.
and I think one of the greatest things is that, as I said, folks shouldn't be intimidated. There are a variety
Yes.
of jobs that open up at any given time.
Yes.
One of the things I know that's an important factor for this agency is making sure we retain institutional knowledge. So we want to bring people in and train them, and so there are wonderful job opportunities within the agency.
Yes, one thing that we're really excited about is our community workforce programs, where we're actually going out into the schools, to the universities and schools with an internship to
wow.
bring in people. And that's it's a new little section, and it's growing. We're excited, and we're
Well,
hoping
but
to retain.
that's a good thing, because then it gives people an opportunity to think about
Yes.
the field of transportation as a part of your major. You may be an accounting person, but you could work
Exactly.
at a transit agency managing accounting, because we collect money.
Yes, we do. Yes,
That's
we
a
do.
great thing. Now,
Yes.
again, let's stress this. What folks need to do, what are your hours of operation, I guess I should say, for the HR department?
We're open 9 to 5, and we're always open on the web.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough.
The web, we're open 24 hours. You can download and
That's
everything
right.
else.
And you can get questions asked about open positions.
Okay.
We do only accept applications for current open positions, and a number of them are open and continuous.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us, and I'm looking forward to showcasing our jobs going forward. Thanks a lot, Jen.
We'll have you back again soon. Ravens football is back, and the MTA is the best way to get to all this season's actions. We'll show you next. Stay with us.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't, because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
The 9/11 Memorial is for my 343 brothers who didn't make it.
And for my brother.
This shows the world that we can rebuild.
And that we are strong.
It's for the heroes like my dad.
This year, the National September 11th Memorial opens in New York City. Join us to honor, remember, and reunite. You can help right now by texting the word HOPE to 80088 to give $10.
Hey, what kind of card is it?
This is the new S-Pass.
Really?
Yeah, it's a special fare card for students and it's really easy to use. You put it in the fare gate and you go on your way. So for the bus, you just slide it through the fare box, and on the light rail, you show it to the fare inspector when they ask you for it. You get it at your school. That's where I got mine. You can use the S-Pass weekdays between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. But remember, only you can use your S-Pass, so make sure you have your ID with you at all times. With the S-Pass, you can kick back, ride, respect, and relax.
Mom, can I have $1?
I think my purse is upstairs on the bed.
It's not here.
Check the dining room.
No.
The upstairs closet?
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family.
Ooh.
So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Football fans everywhere are quite excited to finally have football back. Ravens fans are gearing up for a winning season. But to be a part of all the fun and excitement on game day, how are you going to get to M&T Bank Stadium? Well, MTA Senior Marketing Specialist and football guru Buddy Alves has a look at the season ahead and advice on how to get to Ravens games on the MTA. Hi, Buddy. How are you?
Joe, it's great to see you again.
It's that favorite time of the year again.
It is. It's my favorite time of the year. That's
well,
for
I
sure.
know, because you get to go out there and do all the hard work.
Yes.
Monitoring
yes,
what's going on at football games.
Yes. How difficult can that be?
It is really hard. Now tell me, the Ravens preseason, did it begin or when did the preseason begin?
Well, it began a couple weeks ago. We've had our second game back on kind of the end of August.
So
yes.
typically the Ravens season begins at the end of August, and it's the
Something
preseason,
like that.
and they do a couple of preseason games before the real season starts.
They
am I
do
correct?
4 preseason games, 2 at home, 2
away.
away.
Okay.
And they did pretty well.
So they did pretty well. What does that mean? Did they win? Did they lose? Or was it a split decision?
Both. Both.
But what is it saying about the team, and what is it saying about the fans who really want to get there and see the game?
Well, all the games that they played at home were sellouts.
Well, that's
so
a good
what does
sign.
that say?
That's telling you that MTA is going to be pretty busy this year with getting Ravens fans to the games.
That is correct.
Now, what are you seeing out there on the field that impresses you? I mean, when you think about what's going on with the team this year and getting fans driven to the game, you think fans are really revved up based on what they've seen in the preseason?
Maybe more so this year based on the schedule than ever before.
So tell us a little bit about the home games. What should people be expecting if they're trying to get to the games this year?
Traffic and parking problems.
Wow.
Because there's going to be so many people, up to 70,000 fans, trying to make their way to M&T Bank Stadium.
And so what advice are we giving to the folks who live in Baltimore or in the surrounding regions that can probably take public transit?
That's what we're telling them. Leave the car at home and take transit.
Now, what's the best way, your advice giving out there to folks who are like, okay, so what do I need to do? What's the best advice for getting to the game?
All right, if you're living in the north of the city,
okay,
or south of the city, we highly recommend light rail. It takes you directly to M&T Bank Stadium, Hamburg Street stop.
So really, it literally lets them off, and there's a ramp or there's a bridge. Oh,
yep.
Wow, it lets them off at the stadium.
You just walk up the bridge, and you're right there at the stadium.
Now, are there any other travel options that you'd recommend?
Well, if you're coming from the east of the city or the west, we recommend that you take Metro Subway.
Oh, great. So the Metro Subway puts them in what kind of proximity to the Ravens Stadium?
Well, we recommend that they take the Metro Subway down to either Lexington Market, but even better, maybe down to Charles Center Station West.
Okay, and then they can just walk down Charles Street and get access to the stadium.
It's a short walk. It'll take them through what we call Ravens Walk, right to M&T Bank Stadium.
So they have many options, and of course there are a series of local buses that run in the area that they could take to get there.
There are 9 buses that will take them closest to the stadium.
Okay.
But there are approximately 23 buses that come to downtown Baltimore. And for those that like to walk, a little bit of a walk.
And take the scenic route around the city.
And take the scenic route. They can get off and just walk right on over.
Now, do you know when the regular season games actually start for the Ravens?
September the 10th.
Oh, so that's right around the corner.
Right around the corner. And that game actually is against Cincinnati. So we start the season with Cincinnati, and we end the season with Cincinnati. They were a strong team last year. Their quarterback, Andy Dalton, was a great quarterback. So we'll have our hands full.
Now, one of the things, when people use our MTA system, whether it's light rail or metro subway, we need to let them know, is parking free or not at those stations?
Parking at the metro subway stops and all of the light rail stops are free.
Now, but if they park when they drive downtown, that's not free, is that correct?
It's not free, and that's why we say that that's one of the big obstacles once you get downtown, and it will take you a while to get there because you're going to first face traffic jams.
Right.
Once you get downtown, you've got to find a spot, and with 70,000 people converging on downtown,
it's going to be interesting.
Luck.
Now, let's get the most important information, the cost. What can people pay? Can they pay with their day pass, or would you recommend them getting a charm card? What's your best recommendations for making sure you can pay to get on our system?
Well, if you're going to take light rail, we recommend that you get a round-trip ticket.
Okay.
You can get that through the ticket vending machines.
And those are located at every station, correct?
Every single
Sounds
station.
great.
And by the way, we have 33 stations. Obviously, you'll get on 32 of them to get to that 33rd one at Hamburg Street stop.
And the cost for that round trip ticket?
The round trip is $3.20.
Oh, wait a minute, $3.20 compared to about $25 in parking? Oh, you already have me sold on it.
Yep.
And does the same thing apply to if you're buying a day pass on local bus or for Metro Subway?
Well, on local bus, we recommend that you get a day pass.
Okay.
That way you can use it unlimited throughout the course of game day.
Okay.
And especially if you like to come downtown a little earlier, you got to make a few stops.
Exactly.
Then you can use that and then make your way over to MTA Bank Stadium.
That sounds awesome.
It is
awesome.
awesome.
Either way around, people are going to save money just by using public transportation, and they're going to save time.
Well, that's correct.
Well, I really like that.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Well, I guess I want one final recommendation from you. Are we going to make it to the Super Bowl this year? Tell me, are we going to make it?
Well, this is what I'm going to say. We are going to make it to the playoffs, just as we did last year. The two teams that end up in the Super Bowl, one team is going to be one who has won the Super Bowl previously, but it's been a while.
Okay.
The other team is going to be a surprise team that we haven't seen in the Super Bowl ever before.
And that's your prediction?
That's my prediction.
That bodes well for the Ravens.
It bodes very well for the Ravens.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have to have you come back after the season and talk about it. Now, where can people get this information about it? Can they go on the MTA's website?
They can go on the MTA website, mta.maryland.gov, and we sent out this cute little brochure here.
I like cute.
On the transit service.
Okay.
It went into all of the season ticket holder packages.
Okay.
About 25,000 of these went out, and we're going to have these at a lot of our modes as well.
And some of the area hotels should also have
That
them.
is correct. They'll have them as well.
Great.
So you want to get this. It also has all of the games, away and home. So it's very convenient to use.
I like it.
You want to keep it.
Well, thank you so much. You're a wealth of information.
Thank you.
And I'll actually see you during Super Bowl season because, of course, the Ravens will be there.
Yes.
Up next, we'll address some of your customer questions and concerns in our Ask the MTA segment, so stay with us.
Seven 7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
So I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing.
The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this.
Hey, what kind of card is it?
This is the new S-Pass.
Really?
Yeah, it's a special fare card for students and it's really easy to use. You put it in the fare gate and you go on your way. So for the bus, you just slide it through the fare box, and on the light rail, you show it to the fare inspector when they ask you for it. You don't have to deal with tickets or inserting money.
It looks so easy. Where can I get one?
You get it at your school. That's where I got mine. You can use the S-Pass weekdays between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. So if you show up to school early or stay late, either way, the S-Pass has you covered.
Yeah?
Yeah. But remember, only you can use your S-Pass, so make sure you have your ID with you at all times. Remember not to bend or damage it, otherwise it's going to be a long walk back.
Yeah, a real long walk. So with the S-Pass, I can kick back and relax?
No, with the S-Pass, you can kick back, ride, respect, and relax. See that sign over there?
Oh, ride, respect, and relax. Oh, I get it. Hey, I kind of like you.
Get the S-Pass.
The MTA is committed to providing you the best in transit, and we're interested in your thoughts about MTA services. That's why we feature a segment called Ask the MTA. On each Ask the MTA, we give you an opportunity to ask MTA personnel questions you have concerning transit. And here to answer your customer questions is Assistant Superintendent of the Kirk Division, Kelly Jones. Now, we recently took to the streets for your questions, and here's our first one.
My name is Tyrone Fields. I'm from Southwest Baltimore, and my question is, would you please put a map of each stop on each bus?
So we have a question about how logistically can we put a map of each bus stop or each bus route? Tell me, what's your opinion? Or
actually, they're in the schedules, schedules that they have, there is a map in there.
Right.
But as far as putting them on each bus stop, it's impossible.
We have 8,000 bus stops.
Yes, and we have a clever device that actually call out each stop and transfer points. So it shouldn't be a problem. And if they need to know where they're going, all they have to do is ask the bus operator.
The operator should provide them.
Yes.
One of the things I noticed too is that, you know, folks, it's a little difficult. Folks get a little nervous. They're intimidated about using transit service. So essentially what they can do, like you said, call up.
Yes.
Or if they have access to a website, they can go on our website, download it ahead of time, and they should be able to get that kind of assistance.
Yes.
All righty, on to our next question.
My name is Daryl. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, live in West Baltimore. And my question is, when will the red line be up and operational?
So folks have questions about the red line, and I have to tell you, this is one of our most popular questions. We keep hearing about the red line, so when's it going live?
They're looking at 2021
okay.
for it to be live. They're supposed to break ground around 2015.
Because this is a long process. This is one of the largest, new developments that's happened in transportation in the state of Maryland.
Yes.
So the red line's going from somewhere like Woodlawn all the way under,
downtown,
around,
Emerson, Wildwood Parkway,
through over in Canton, all the way out to
yes.
Johns Hopkins. So it's going to take many years and a lot of money to get that done.
Yes.
So around 2021.
2021.
Somewhere around the time I turned 39. Gotcha. All righty. And our next question.
Hi, my name is Alan from Baltimore, Maryland, and sometimes I wait an hour and a half for 54. So my question is, what can the MTA do to improve the time and schedule for the 54 Randallstown?
So we have questions about that 54 line. Now that's a relatively, has that route been modified at all recently? Or?
Basically, they run 15 minutes apart from Penn Station, but up to Randallstown, Milford Mill, it's a half an hour to Randallstown, but it's still 15 minutes from Milford Mill.
Okay, so we do sometimes, I mean, there are a lot of things that happen, traffic, rush hour,
yes.
peak times that can affect that ride.
It's a busy time, especially going out.
But one of the things, if somebody's having problems or the bus is late, can they call, or they should call and maybe let customer service know so they can track the route to see if there are any issues on the route?
Yes, they can actually track buses. They have tracking system on them, so they can tell if the bus is running late.
Yeah, and I know MTA is introducing a next bus system where they're maybe in the next couple of years looking at ways in which they can, help customers figure out when and where their buses are located.
Yes.
And our next question?
My name is Adam Hall from Baltimore, Maryland. My question is the frequency of the trains that go in between Camden Yards and Penn Station. There's not a lot of trains that go in between Camden Yards and Penn Station. I go to a lot of baseball games, and I do travel, outside of the state using the Amtrak. I just wanted to know about how many trains go in between and if they can increase that.
So what's the frequency related to that light rail? It's like a spur that goes between them.
Yeah, it's basically the shortest route, and it runs from the Penn Station down to Camden Yards, and they run in 15 minutes. It's actually two. It's one car going north, one car going south.
Every 15 minutes?
Every 15 minutes.
Okay, and that's the frequency because there's not a lot of ridership on that.
Yes, actually, a person is just like being at the airport. You have to get there an hour early. They get to the Penn an hour early.
Sounds great. And our next question.
My name is Ivan Bremerman, and I am from the Waverly neighborhood. Can MTA put more hybrid buses? That will help the environment and will help everybody else.
It's amazing because that is the wave that we're going. So what's going on with the hybrid buses?
Well, actually, it's wonderful. They're quiet.
They are quiet.
And it's nice to see that it's quiet. Mm-hmm. But around 2018, we expect to have the whole fleet as hybrid buses.
Because right now, every year we're rolling out more and more of the hybrid buses.
Yes.
And they're fuel efficient and they're beautiful buses. I mean, it's interesting to say beautiful buses, but these are really beautiful buses.
Yes, they are.
Wonderful. Our next two questions were received by email. Our first one is from Margaret Winters of Baltimore. Margaret writes, I've been writing MTA for many years and have often wondered about the buses I see parked at the end of some of the bus lines. Now, what's the purpose of this? Is this a lunch break for the bus operators or bus drivers? Or does this stopover serve a schedule function for the buses within the MTA system?
It is a layover. It's a layover for the operators. Basically, they'll leave on their scheduled time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes there is a restroom at the end of the line where they can use it, but once it's time for them to go on their scheduled time, they'll leave at that time.
And that's a really important function for operators to have that downtime to kind of switch or, kind of reassess their afternoon.
Yes.
Sounds great. And our other email question is from a Baltimore City school student named Saritha. She writes, I've been hearing about a new pass that MTA will be issuing students this school year. What is it and how does it work? So there's this new S-Pass. Tell them a little bit about what this S-Pass is.
The S-Pass basically will help them as far as from 6 in the morning to 8 at night. Exactly. They'll be able to ride the bus without any transfers. It is not a hassle. The operator will be able to, they'll get to swipe it and they can continue on. It'll actually make the pace a little faster.
And that's a good thing because, if we think about it, in many years, and I'm a former Baltimore City school, it wasn't that long ago I went to school, you had bus tickets. You had to tear off the tickets and hand it over, and if you lost your ticket or you had to go to an internship or you played sports, once you use those 2 tickets, that's on you. Well, now I guess this gives them more flexibility. They can swipe it, depending on wherever they need to go, without having to, get another ticket. So that's
yes,
good.
And it won't be a problem for the operators as far as them, going after 7 o'clock and they're trying to get on a bus.
Right.
And they're being hassled by the operator. That will stop.
That's great. That's good news. That's a really good development. Thank you. Now, if you have any questions you'd like to ask the MTA, visit the MTA television show link at mta.maryland.gov or drop us a line or check us out on Facebook or Twitter. Now, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Take care.